fulfilling the food demand of an increasing population remain a global major concern, 1/3 of food produced is lost or wasted in post-harvest loss operations. Reducing post-harvest loss, especially in developing countries, could be a sustainable solution to increasing availability of food, eliminating poverty, and improving livelihood of farmers. This week, the Ghanaian farmer is back in Kumasi, and we found ourselves in Sesi Technologies, a company owned by a young Ghanaian graduate with an electrical engineering background. After completion of school, he founded this company that is providing or manufacturing agricultural technology solutions, helping farmers to mitigate post-harvest loss. My name is Enyunam. Get interactive wherever you're watching us from. Let's hear from you. If you have questions, you have contributions, just feel at home and get interactive on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. I'm going for a quick breather. When I come back, Isaac Sesi, founder of Sesi Technologies, joins me to tell me all about this company and how it started. Stay tuned, I'll be right back. Thanks for staying. If you just tune in, you're watching The Ghanaian Farmer. My name is Enyunam. Remember, if you see me in town, call me Ghana's finest farmer. We are still in Kumasi, and precisely we are in the premises of Sesi Technologies. It is a company that I've always wanted to tell the story of how it started. What is the inspiration, the motivation? A Ghanaian is capable of solving our own problems, and that's what this young man, Isaac, is doing. Isaac, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, this story, this interview has been long overdue.
It's been long overdue, yes.
But finally we are here.
Finally we're doing it.
Yeah, so for me, it's an inspiration to see these innovative solutions happening in the agriculture sector. And so whilst we go to the farm to meet the farmers, we want to also expose them to some of the modern agriculture solutions that they can use to fast track the services or the things they're doing. So let's begin with introducing people to Sesi Technologies and how it all started.
Thank you very much. So as you rightly introduced, my name is Isaac Sesi. I am the founder of Sesi Technologies. Just to give you a bit of a background as to how Sesi Technologies started, I graduated from KNUST in 2016 with a degree in electrical and electronic engineering.
Right.
And after school, I had the opportunity to work with the Department of Agriculture and Biosystems Engineering at KNUST. And I worked there as a research engineer. At the time, there was a project that was ongoing where we're looking for affordable ways to help reduce moisture, help reduce post-harvest losses in grains. And then we identified that if we could make it easy for farmers to be able to measure the moisture content in their grains, it will help reduce post-harvest losses. Even though there are so many different causes of post-harvest losses, we realized that moisture content was one of the key ones. And so we decided to come up with a low-cost way of helping farmers measure the moisture content of their grains. Because in the past, if farmers wanted to measure the moisture content of grains, they would take some of the corn and then they would try and bite it and see whether they'll look inside and see whether it is dry or not. Or they'll take some and then they'll just be tossing it around and listen to the sound. Those are all like rudimentary ways of measuring moisture content.
Right.
So we worked on this project where we were looking at what tools could we develop to make it easy and affordable for farmers to measure moisture content. And then we developed the moisture meter as a lab. And I led the project. I put together a team of 4. And then we came up with this technology to help locally manufacture a technology that could help farmers easily measure the moisture content in their grains. And so after my days as a research engineer, typically in the university setting, when you finish research, you just write your paper, put it on the shelf and get on with your life. But I decided that, look, we had spent a lot of time, a lot of money to develop this technology. It can't just lie on the shelf.
Exactly.
So let me start a company to commercialize, to improve the technology commercialize the technology, and then now put it in the hands of farmers. And that is how Sesi Technologies was born, essentially to take this technology solution that we had developed and then now commercialize it, put it in the market, and let it benefit our farmers so that they could reduce post-harvest losses in their grains. And so between then and now, we have grown, we have taken this technology, we've improved it, we've put it on the market, and it's in use by several thousands of farmers and aggregators and just the entire value chain altogether. And we are also developing other products and services that help to reduce losses in our grain value chain. So that is basically the story of Sesi Technologies.
How many years old are you now?
Well, we are about 5 years old, but then the first 2 years was mainly spent doing research and development, because as a technology company, having started with a technology product, like I said, we built this as a research project, right? But then there's a big difference between a product you build for research and a product that is actually possible to commercialize and put in the market. So we spent some time developing the technology, improving it until 2020, when we're now ready to actually commercialize. So in terms of commercial operations, we've been operating commercially for about 3 years.
Okay. Now, there are about over 3 million smallholder farmers in Ghana who find themselves in diverse sectors. Some are aquaculture, some are crop farmers, livestock farmers, and all that. Why settled on grains?
Well, so grains make up the majority of the food that we eat in this country. In fact, if you segment what smallholder farmers grow in this country, grains make up the majority. And so by solving problems within the grain value chain, we will be really making a big impact in post-harvest losses. And the market is big. As you mentioned, there are over 3 million smallholder farmers. And so it means that we have a big market, we're solving an important problem. And so that's how we settled on grains.
Okay, so now let's zoom into the word. The key word is post-harvest loss.
Yes.
When someone hears the word post-harvest loss, what exactly are you talking about?
So when we talk about post-harvest loss, we are looking at losses that occur in our food after harvest. So when you have harvested, whether it's your corn, your rice, your tomatoes, whatever crop it is, all the losses that result after you've harvested, that is what we call post-harvest loss. And in Africa, about 30 to 40% of the food that we grow is lost because of post-harvest losses, which is a big problem. And it's quantified that as much as $4 billion worth of food is lost, right? That's if we value the amount of food that is lost, that is about $4 billion. And all of the food aid that we receive, all of these organizations, donor organizations, USAID, all of these people, the food aid that they donate to Africa, if we are able to solve post-harvest losses, there would be no need for them to
food aid.
Yes. So the amount we lose in post-harvest losses is far more than what we receive in donations, which means that if we really are able to address the problem of post-harvest losses, we can really safeguard our food security as a continent.
Okay. In the area of grains, what are some of the factors that lead to post-harvest loss?
Yeah, so grains, post-harvest loss in grains has a lot of factors. So you harvest, even after you've harvested, you need to thresh, you need to dry, you need to store, you need to transport. Those are all different areas in which post-harvest losses can occur. You get it? So take, for instance, threshing. If you take, let's say, soybeans, outside of threshers, the way farmers thresh soybeans or soya beans is that they will gather the soya bean in a big heap, and then both women, children, they will take huge sticks and then they'll be hitting the grains. So imagine
in the sack.
Yes, not even in the sack. They just put the grains, the soybeans, the soya beans or the beans, whatever, in on a tarpaulin in the stalk, and then they just whip it with sticks.
I see.
Yeah. So imagine the percent. Obviously, you know that some of the beans will fly here,
Exactly.
others will fly
Yes.
there, and then in the end, what you started with will be way less than
Limited.
what you finished with,
Okay.
right? So that is one area of losses. Then you even look at storage. You know, the bags that we used to store, you harvest your grains, you put it in the bag, and then 3 months down the line, you come and then rats have chewed the bags.
One
There are
side.
weevils in there. The bags, the grains are green, and then you cannot use them.
Yeah.
Right. So that is also storage is also another area in
Problem.
which we see a lot of losses. High moisture content is another one.
Okay.
You know, and because there are not a lot of scientific ways in which farmers have the ability to test for the moisture content, they don't know when it's sufficient, when it is sufficiently dried, because as you know, over here people usually don't dry their grains with machines. They just spread it on the ground and then let the sun shine on it for a bit, and then they say it's dry.
Exactly.
But then if the moisture is high, you put it in a bag, and then it starts to grow moldy.
Yeah.
You see all of these green mold, and then whitish powder and all of that. And that is all losses.
Okay.
So when you quantify all of that, you have about 30% of what we produce, going away as a loss. Imagine you put 1,000 cedis in your bank account, and then you wake up in 3 months, and then it's left with 700 cedis. I don't think you'll be happy. It just disappeared into thin air, right? So I don't think you'll be happy. So these are all the different
Some
areas
of
in
the
which,
factors. Okay. But how does these affect farmers' livelihood and, of course, their income that they are supposed to make at the end of harvest and sale? How does post-harvest loss affect farmers?
Yeah, so this is money, okay? To a farmer, corn is money.
Of course.
Rice is money.
Yeah.
Beans is money.
Yes.
And so just the scenario I just gave you, imagine that you put 1,000 cedis. Think of this as 1,000 cedis. You put this in your bank, which is the farmer's storehouse.
Yeah.
And then 3 months later, you open it, and then 300 cedis is gone. And you know that our smallholder farmers are typically low income, which means that every CD counts.
Yeah.
So any losses that they suffer are losses that directly impacts their pockets, because then it means that they cannot get the full value of their produce and their hard work and their sweat, which means that their children may be sacked for school fees, or they will not be able to afford the shoe that they need to buy for their child to go to school, or sometimes they may go to bed on an empty stomach, because it's the same grains that the farmers store to also eat and feed their families throughout the year.
Okay.
So you are ready to eat your grains, and then you open it, and then it's just turned to powder. You are going to go hungry.
Exactly.
So these are all of the ways in which the losses impact farmers' livelihood.
So in an attempt to actually address this post-harvest loss or mitigate it, what are some of the products that Sesi had actually manufactured?
Thank you very much. I'm glad we are here. So yes, so as I mentioned, we identified that there are several different causes of post-harvest losses and several different areas in which they occur: drying, storage, threshing, harvesting, even market access, right? So our first solution was the grain mate moisture meter, which we developed to help easily measure the moisture content in grains. Because if you know the moisture content, you know whether it's dry or not, and if it's not dry, you can go and store. You can go and dry it again, so that when you store, it's not going to go bad. So we came up with the grain mate moisture meter, but then we realized that beyond just being able to measure the moisture content, there was the need to be able to solve the other problems along that post-harvest value chain. Because that is good, but I don't have a way of storing my grains
storage bag
in the appropriate way, then it looks like all of my effort has gone to waste, because it's going to go bad anyway, right? Weevils and then rats are going to chew them.
Exactly.
So then we introduced the zero fly hermetic storage bag, which is a superior storage solution that helps farmers store their grains for up to 2 years without the need for any insects, with any fumigation, without the need for any dangerous chemicals inside of the grain.
Okay.
Right?
Before we get proper into the hermetic bag, now let's talk about what goes into producing or manufacturing this. First of all, are all of this assembled locally, or it is imported?
Yeah, I'm happy that you asked. Now, this is a product of Ghana, made in Ghana by engineers and young people in Ghana, graduates of universities in Ghana, KNUST, Legon, and lots of universities.
Okay.
We are very proud that we're able to manufacture this technology, designed in Ghana, right here in this space that you are. So this is a product of Ghana, not imported, manufactured right here.
Everything.
Everything.
Okay. Now, what is your production capacity as a company for producing this meter?
So we currently run a small team, but then we are able to make as many as 1,000 units per month. However, based on demand, we can quickly ramp up our production capacity by bringing in more people, installing more stations, and then we can easily ramp up to as high as we want to.
How many hours will it take me, and you know, because today I'm an engineer, if I want to produce this meter, how many hours is it taking me to quickly assemble everything and produce this?
Well, assembling this comes in many steps. So as what you are holding, you can see that on the outer, there's an outer enclosure, which is a mechanical engineering work. Inside the brain, inside of the device, there are the brains and the electronics, right? So we have multiple teams with multiple expertise working on this. So only you will not be able to do all of it. And so I don't know how to answer your questions, but
so it's
I think
a chain of
yes, it's a chain. Think of it like like an assembly line. Someone does something, he finishes his own,
Move
he passes
to the next table.
Yeah.
Move to the next table.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in a day, we can put together, you know, at least 100.
Right.
Yes.
Sesi, one of the major concerns of Ghanaians in terms of investing money to buying products is the longevity or the quality of the product. How long is a rural farmer taking his money to buy this? How long am I going to use this for?
You can use this for as long as you want. So long as it's not damaged, so long as you haven't, like, you know, you haven't damaged it, you can use it for as long as you want. It doesn't have expiry dates. The only thing you need to do is to maintain it every year by calibrating it to make sure that it still reads properly. And those are all services that we are able to provide. And the good thing about the fact that we manufacture this in Ghana is that we can service it, we can replace it. If you have any issues, if you have any challenges, we can fix it for you, which is not something you get with the options that you import, which are even more expensive than our solution.
Okay.
Yeah.
How difficult or easy is it for a farmer to be able to easily pick up this and experiment it on their product, being either grain, rice, millet, or whatever?
Yeah. So this is very simple. We design it with smallholder farmers in mind. It's simple. As you see, it comes in two parts. You put in the cable into the device, you put this in the grain that you want to test, and then you select the grain you are testing for, you press test, you wait for a couple of minutes, and it gives you a result.
A couple of minutes as an averagely?
Like 2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
And then it gives you a result.
Okay.
And so initially when we're designing it, we design it with smallholder farmers in mind. And so we made it very simple to use. In fact, we even record videos and instruction in local languages. We go around farming communities. When we do training, we give them a meter and we make sure that they can use it before we leave. So it's really designed with the Ghanaian farmer in mind.
Okay. Now let's talk about where do you have this product available for farmers to actually have access to? And also, do you work all year round or you work during the season? I mean, after production, during harvest, then you're busily producing, or it's all year round?
Yeah, so we make sure that at any point in time we have enough inventory to be able to serve the market.
Okay.
Yeah, so anytime at all that you want to get access or get our technology, you can get access to it.
Okay. Now the bag, the Hermetic bag, way back, 10, 15 years ago, my dad was a grain farmer, so I know we use the usual sack kind of bag. That's what they used to store the maize. What makes this one stands out, or what makes this one valuable than the other one?
All right, thank you very much. So this is a bag that has been produced out of more than 10 years of research and development.
Okay.
Together with our partners and other institutions that we've worked with to come up with this zero fly bag.
Right.
So there are a number of things that set this apart. First, if you even hold this, you realize that it's even more durable than the what we call them, the PP
traditional
bags, the
yes.
traditional bags. Secondly, this is a 2-layer bag.
Okay.
So you can see there is an outer layer and then there is an inner layer.
Yeah.
So you have double protection.
Okay.
Now the outer layer is coated with deltamethrin. And so deltamethrin is an insecticide. It's a slow release insecticide that kills any insects trying to penetrate the bag from the outside. Right, so instead of, typically what people do is that they'll put chemicals like phostoxin and other things directly into the grains, which is dangerous for human consumption. Exactly. It's very poisonous. Yeah. But with this insecticide-coated bag, it's the same insecticide used in the mosquito-treated nets that we use, right? And so this insecticide bags eliminates the need for you to use these dangerous chemicals inside of your grains. Okay. But then someone may be wondering, if it's insecticide, does it come in contact with the grain? No, it doesn't. That is why we have this inner layer. Okay. So you can see that there is this inner layer bag over here. That is where the grains go into. So the grains go into the inner layer and then you tie it. Once it is airtight, any insects that are in there within 21 days, they will use up all of the oxygen and then they will die. Okay. Any insects trying to penetrate from the outside, they get knocked out. You can see there are some of these insects that are dead on the ground. Dead on the ground. So they get knocked out and then they are not able to penetrate. And so with this, once your moisture is right, you can keep your grains in this bag for up to 2 years.
2 years?
Yes.
Okay.
No fumigation.
I don't have to open, dry, store.
You don't have to do any of them. Once you've made sure that you've dried, it's fine, the moisture is okay. Up to 2 years. You don't need any fumigation, nothing. Okay. You can keep your grains secure, have your peace of mind, knowing that your investment is secure. I know. And you can even, another good thing is that you can even reuse it multiple times.
I wanted to come to that, if I buy this Hermetic bag, how many times I go use them?
You can use it multiple times. We say that you can use it for up to 4 planting seasons, right? So, let's say you plant, you store, and then you pour it out to sell. You can use it again up to 4 times. Okay. Yeah, before the insecticide starts to wear off. Okay. But even if you've been able to keep it well and there are no breaks and no tears, you can use it for as long as possible. Okay. So it's very durable and it pays for itself over the period.
Apart from maize, which other grain can we store in this Hermetic bag?
You can store rice, you can store sorghum, you can store soya beans, peas. In fact, even people have used this to store dry pepper. Okay. Yeah, so any dry agricultural commodity you can store with this.
All right. So viewers, you're still watching The Ghanaian Farmer. My name is Enyonam. On this platform, we do not only interview farmers, but everybody in the line of the agriculture value chain. We make sure we put the spotlight on the tremendous work they are doing just for the improvement and growth of the agriculture value chain or agriculture sector. So this week we are all the way in Kumasi and we found ourselves in the premise of Sesi Technologies. We are talking to them about the, novel technological solutions, agricultural solutions that they are manufacturing for farmers to actually use. I'm going for a quick breather. When I come back, together with Isaac, we'll be delving into the financial bit of what he does. Walking in here, I was asking him, oh, this one there, it is more work, so you don't need it. But I have seen some machines. I have seen some, the things I'm saying, let's find out how much will it cost the Ghanaian farmer for we to, copy him and also establish our own factory. How are farmers accepting and patronizing these, interesting products that he is manufacturing? Is there any form of collaboration from the point of government? How can stakeholders, if you are abroad and you're looking for a business to invest in, this, I believe, is one that you can trust. But I'll be right back for us to delve into this part 2 portion of the interview. And of course, he also has a meter for warehouse. We'll also touch on that. So it's a 360 solution they are providing you in terms of mitigating post-harvest loss on your farm. I'll be right back after this. Stay tuned. Thanks for staying. If you're just tuning in, you're watching The Ghanaian Farmer, and the conversation is centered around agricultural technological solutions that are being manufactured to help farmers who are focusing on in the area of grains production. So, Cecil, we talked about the Hermetic bag, and then we also mentioned the grain meter. Now, you also mentioned that even if you have a warehouse where you're going to keep these grains or store them, you also need another meter that will be giving you data as to how the air within that area and all that. Tell me about that meter as well.
Yeah. So as I initially mentioned, the mentality behind our products is that we want to create a 360-degree solution that addresses, so different solutions that address the different causes of post-harvest management.
Yeah.
So the moisture meter for moisture testing,
yeah.
the zero-fly hermetic bag for storage. But then if you are an aggregator or if you are a commercial farmer, you are storing your grains.
Yeah.
How do you know whether those grains that you have stored is in the right condition, is in the good condition? Because you don't want to wake up 3 months later, open your bag and see that it's all turned to powder, right? And that would be very, very, sad.
Yeah.
So we came up with the GrainMate warehouse monitor, which helps you to measure the, to continuously monitor the, we call them the microclimate conditions of your warehouse. So you can measure temperature, you can measure humidity, and then you can also monitor what we call the equilibrium moisture content, which means that if your grains, so basically it tells you that, okay, the temperature in your warehouse is 30 degrees, so your humidity is 70%, etc. And if these conditions persist, the moisture content in your grains will either increase or decrease by this amount.
Okay.
And then it comes with a mobile, so there is a screen that displays the data. So
where's the meter? Let me see.
This is the meter.
Okay.
So you will stick it on your wall.
On the wall.
So this is the sensor that captures all of those readings. Okay. You stick this on the wall, you see the readings on the screen. But then we also have a mobile application that will alert you, because we understand that sometimes you are in Accra, your warehouse is in the north or Tamale or wherever. So you can get access to all of those readings in real time, right from your phone. And you can set thresholds and say, if the temperature in my warehouse goes beyond, let's say 34 degrees, send me an alert. Okay. If my humidity goes beyond 80%, send me an alert. Okay. In that case, you are up to speed, you are up to date with everything that is happening,
what is happening in
your warehouse.
Okay, now let's talk about cost. Assuming these fine solutions that you have here, a farmer wants to purchase each one of them. How much is the moisture meter, the grain meter going for?
Yeah, so thank you. So the moisture meter, depending on what you're measuring, we have an 800 CD version, and then we have a 1000 CD version. Okay. So if you are measuring, the 800 CD version is for corn, rice, sorghum, etc. The 1000 CD version is for other higher value crops such as shea nut. Right. Right. So this.
And then the warehouse one is going for how much?
The warehouse monitor is going for 2,000 cedis only. Okay. Yes.
Did you hear that? 2,000 only. Yes. Now let's talk about the bags. What sizes does it come in and how much are they costing? Yeah,
so the bags, we have two sizes. We have the 50 kilogram size, which goes for 17 cedis per bag. Okay. And then we have the 100 kilogram size, which goes for 20 cedis per bag. Okay. We are able to give some discounts for bulk orders. Right. But then, even though they may look a bit more expensive than the normal PP bags, look, the qualities that I have shared about the bags, it's worth the value.
It's worth the money you're mentioning. Yes. It's value for money.
Yes, now, and then even because you can use it multiple times, you pay for itself over time. By the time you are done using one, you'd have used about 5 of the other ones. Okay. Yeah.
Now, before I move on to my monetary side, the bag, when I, open it and sell off the grain in it, do I wash before I restock?
No, you don't wash it. You just fold it. No. You don't. You
just don't talk me like I go put water in there.
No, don't do that. Okay. Yeah, you just fold it nicely, put it down until you are ready to use it again.
Okay. Yes. Now, it's not easy for an African youth or a Ghanaian youth to actually come up with an idea and then do the paper or the business plan, have a whole facility like you have now, stock it with the machines we have here, and creating jobs. How easy or difficult for you? I mean, the startup capital, do you still remember, and how did you even come by that money?
Wow, that is such a deep question. Coming up with, starting an innovative startup, especially one that is looking to solve difficult problems with technology, it's very different from, say, starting a restaurant,
Right.
where the business model is established. You know that you get a good location, you buy your kitchen tools, you buy your ingredients, you sell food. This is like a lot of try and error, right? Even the process of developing the technology, what is going to work, what is not going to work. There are times that we ordered over $10,000 worth of electronic components, and then we realized they were the wrong parts, and then we couldn't even use them for anything. We couldn't even return them. And so it's very difficult. You know, there is a lot of innovation that has to go into the technological bits. There's a lot of innovation that has to go into even the business, what kind of business model do you use? Because you know that we are trying to reach smallholder farmers in the agric value chain, which is a space which is quite conservative. You don't have a lot of technology penetration. So how, in what ways can you even price and even deliver your products so that people want to pay for them, right? And even because these are new products, you need to spend a lot of time and effort creating the awareness needed for adoption, even what kind of messaging that you are going to need. So that is it's a lot of very difficult work, you know, lots of try and error, lots of testing things out, figuring out what works and what doesn't work. And when it comes to the financial bit, it's been quite tough. You know, fortunately, we've been able to raise some funding through, you know, some grants, pitch competitions, but those are not sustainable ways of financing the business. You know, the best way is to like get your customers' money, but until you get to that point, you need to be able to stay alive and you need to be able to keep running somehow. So yeah, we've had to, we are always having to look at our books and trying to see if we are going to, how we're going to make, you know, ends meet in the next 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, etc. So it's difficult. It's not easy at all.
You made mention of how it's not easy raising funds to actually set up. But like I asked, I will still repeat. I want you to be very specific for me. The first money to actually assemble all that you need to produce your first meter, where did it come from?
I think just after I had finished my research engineer role at KNUST, we were working with another project that was at the time the Amplifies project, and they were engaging farmers and they needed some moisture meters. So we went to them and they were like, look, we haven't even figured out how to develop this technology yet. We haven't figured anything out, but take a bet on us, right? Bet on us. Let us produce these meters for you rather than you going to import them, and give us an advance so that we can figure out the technology and then produce it for you. And that is how we got our first funding to produce our first set of 120 moisture meters.
That is in the year?
In the year of 2019.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So when you got that funding, tell me what did you purchase? Did you purchase any of this machine or just the things you have to produce the meter with?
No, you know, this was just money that someone had paid us in advance for the product.
Okay.
So we didn't have the luxury to go and purchase big machines, some of the machines that we have.
Right.
So we just purchased a few basic things that we could use to start, and then the rest of it went into purchasing the actual materials, raw materials that we needed to put together the devices.
Okay. Did Sesi started from this building where we find ourselves now? No,
Sesi started from a tiny building. In fact, the building was so small that I can just throw my leg in. Yeah, like you couldn't even fit 3 people in that office. Right. Fortunately, KNUST gave us a very small office that we started our operations from, and that was our humble beginnings. Right. Yes, and so after that, we after about a year, we were able to move to another place, and this is our 3rd location.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Now tell me some of the machines you work with.
Yeah.
I would let viewers actually have a 360 view of every machine we have here and what it actually does. Run me through some of the machines that help you produce this meter.
Yeah, so let me just take you through the assembly process.
Exactly.
So we first have to we do something we call reflowing. So we put the electronic components on what we call a printed circuit board, and then we have a machine called a reflow oven that sort of melts the machines, that sort of melts the components directly onto the board, right? After that, we have a device. It's like a microscope that we use to look at the boards and then make sure that everything is soldered properly. There are no like parts that are joining, and then we have some of the parts that have to be soldered or assembled manually.
Okay.
Yeah, so those ones, we have soldering stations that we use to solder those manually.
Okay.
And then once those are done, for the mechanical part, we have a machine called a laser marker that marks the inscriptions, the grain mates and those inscriptions that you see onto the laser marker. And then we also have a 3D printer that prints some of the small parts that are attached to the device. Okay. And then we have people that actually now put everything together, screw them and all of that.
Wow.
Yeah. Now other equipment we use, oscilloscopes, we have other things that we use to just test the circuits, make sure that they are all running. We have a station where we write our firmware. So the firmware is like the software that goes on the hardware that tells the device how to work. So these are all part of the product development process.
Who are the main, consumers of this solutions you're manufacturing here?
Yeah. So basically anyone who works in the grain value chain is a customer. Okay. So we have smallholder farmers who need to be able to know whether the moisture content of their grains is dry enough before they store. We have feed producers who need to be able to know whether the moisture content of their grain is low before they use it to make the feed for their birds, because high moisture content in feed is going to lead to low production or even at worst kill your birds. Okay. Right? And then we have aggregators who first of all need to know whether the commodities they are purchasing from farmers are the right moisture content so that they know how to negotiate pricing. And secondly, they need the people that the aggregators supply to, they have standards where a food processing company will tell you, if you are supplying me corn, let's make sure that it is 13% or below. Otherwise, I'll reject your grains. Okay. So our machine tells them that, okay, this is 13% or below, or this is more. Then they know how the right decisions to make to avoid any losses. Okay. Yeah.
Many international organizations such as WFP, FAO, the UN are all introducing or encouraging farmers to adopt technology in the work they do. Yeah. How easy or difficult is it for Sesi to actually convince farmers to patronize or accept and buy this product?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So the fact that the tech exists does not necessarily mean smallholder farmers are going to adopt, because we have to understand that for a typical smallholder farmer, he has a lot of needs. Exactly. He has to buy seed, he has to buy fertilizer, he has to buy agrochemicals, he needs to pay someone to plow his land. These are all
too many on his
things that are competing for the very small budget that a farmer has. So a farmer will not, he has to be able to take care of all of that before you even think of this device or whatever it is, right? As far as a farmer is concerned. And so even though farmers understand, they appreciate the use of this device, the willingness to purchase it with their money is not there, because there are quite a number of reasons why this is so. First of all, there isn't price differentiation according to quality, right? Bad maize is selling for the same price as good maize. So even if a farmer buys a moisture meter, make sure that his moisture content is right and all of that, and he has to sell, he doesn't get extra money because his moisture is lower. In most places. In most places. If he is storing the grains for his own use, then maybe he would find a lot of good use. So there has to be like a certain incentive to cause them to purchase this. And this is the point where if government...
Incentive on the part of who? That's what I was about to ask.
Basically, there has to be a market incentive. Okay. Right? There has to be a reason why a farmer would want to purchase this.
To buy this.
Right? So it could be something like, okay, if your grain is well dried, you get paid more. Okay. You understand? Okay. So that's a market incentive for them to purchase this. So also the fact that they have limited capital means that that support has to come from somewhere. In order for them to be able to access this technology. And for us, we are actually working on a a version that is much more affordable for smallholder farmers in particular, right? But then we need the support of, this is where the support of government and the support of these non-profits you mentioned, like WFP, they come in, because then they are able to, like, if they recognize that this is a technology that will help safeguard the national food security, then they should, you know, support it, whether it's going to be in the form of providing subsidies or purchasing this for the farmers, or just creating a way in which farmers can access. That is where they come in. Yeah.
Talking about support, incentive, and all that, have you approached government to actually pitch this product to them, or have they recognized you or identify you to even come and have a conversation yet?
That's an interesting question. Well, we have engaged with government at different levels, right? The ministry at different levels, right from the ministry level up until the local district, local assembly level, even up to the AEA district, as district offices of MOFA. Now, we see different, we've had different engagements. So for instance, let's say with MOFA, we've had extension agents that we've worked with to go and introduce the product to farmers and all of that. Now, most of our most successful engagements have been at the grassroots level. However, that is not enough to really push the adoption, right? If we had the kind of support, if we had that kind of support from a national level where the ministry, the government identified that, okay, this is a great local homegrown technology. Let's support this, and then let's help our farmers get this so that, you know, we can improve the quality of the grains we are producing. We can reduce losses. That would really go a long way to really push our work and then really accelerate the impacts that we are trying to make.
The accounts will say this cannot be a product that people should not be jumping or rushing to actually buy even before the harvest season is due. What are you doing as a business owner? How, in your little way, apart from the engagement with AEAs, meeting the farmers, doing demonstrations for them to see and all that, which other ways are you leveraging to actually promote or create more awareness for the product?
Yeah, so we are actually doing quite a lot of things. We have we attend exhibitions like Farmers Day. In fact, every year we have a set of more than 12 different exhibitions and industry events that we attend to get our products in the eyes of, in the faces of those who matter. We have different digital marketing campaigns that we run to create more awareness. We have a lot of people who have used the technologies and they're happy with it, and we have a referral program such that if they tell someone about it and then they someone makes a purchase, they get commission. So aside from just waiting for support, I mean, we are not waiting for support. We're also doing what we can as a business.
Looking forward to the support.
Okay.
So apart from Ghana, have your product reached any other African country yet?
Yes. So our products are in use in several countries: Kenya, Nigeria, Malawi, Zimbabwe, Rwanda, South Africa, even as far as Nepal and Honduras.
Wow.
Yeah. So those are, even Bangladesh.
Okay.
So those are all places that our products are currently in use.
How many workers do you have under your watch?
Yeah, so at the moment we are a team of around 18. Yeah, so that is made up of, you know, production teams, field teams, operations teams, but we're quite a small team. We're about 18 at the moment.
Are you guys always stuck in the office, or you actually go to the field at times to see firsthand how farmers are using and enjoying the product you're producing? Oh,
but you know, agriculture is not done in the office. So if you come to the office at any time, you only see the people who have to be in the office. Everybody else is in the field. So we have field operations going on in different parts, in the north, in the middle belt, and we have like facilities where we actually, aside from these technologies that we provide, we also offer services such as threshing, drying,
Okay.
other post-harvest services to farmers.
Right.
And so those are all taking place in the field. We have a team that is constantly, on the field, engaging with farmers, pushing the products. And so, no, we don't just sit in the office and wait for people to come and buy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about whether or not it's expensive to operate such a business or launch such a business. People are encouraging the Ghanaian youth, don't run away from Ghana. This man, if they go, they can. One day, if they go, will come back. So we are encouraging a lot of young people.
Please don't spill my secrets.
We are encouraging a lot of young people to find a niche for themselves in whatever background they actually come from school. You are doing your bit, but how expensive is it to actually operate such a business?
Yeah. So running any business on its own, any kind of business at all, is not easy. It's expensive, it's tough, it's difficult. But running the kind of business we are doing, where we are trying to develop technology locally, because it's very rare for you to see that there is a technology that is made in Ghana and there isn't made in China written at the back. This, if you look at the back, you see made in Ghana. Things that involve innovation and software and hardware and just trying to come up with a new solution to solve a problem. Even those are orders of magnitude, even higher, more difficult than any kind of business at all. So this is not something that anybody can just get up and say, oh, I watched you on TV. It looked nice, so I'm also getting up to do some. No, it requires a lot of specialized knowledge. Right. It requires a lot of technical know-how. It requires an understanding of the market, of smallholder farmers, of how to even deliver solutions in a way that your target market is going to pay for them. So no, this is not easy to do at all. Please, yeah, don't think that it looks easy. In the house. Don't try this at home. WWE.
Those who have been doing the wrestling, they say don't try this in the house. It is not a baby play here.
Yes.
Now, Cecil, we are wrapping up our interview. My next question would be: Are you receiving positive or motivational messages from those who have used it, those who have come across the product, people you've pitched to? What has the feedback been from the business community angle or level?
Yeah, so the feedback we have received for our products has been mostly positive, and it's really exciting that sometimes I'm scrolling through Facebook or WhatsApp, and then I will see someone say, oh, I'm looking for a moisture meter. Who has some? And then someone will post our product.
Exactly.
I'll be in the group and I see that someone posts our product. Or maybe I'm scrolling through Facebook in like an Agric group and someone says, oh, where can I find this Hermetic bag to buy? And then the person uploads a picture of this bag.
Right.
And then people tag me. Like, it makes me happy, and people come and comment, oh, I've used this product, it's good, buy it. Most of the feedback has been very positive. Right. Obviously, for any product, there are ways to improve the product. Exactly. So we've also gotten feedback on things that we can do to improve the product, which are constructive feedback. Okay. So we are encouraged by the fact that people use our product, they see value in it, and then they even recommend it to others. Do
you clearly recall average last year how many Hermetic bags, moisture meter, or the warehouse meter? Do you remember how many sales you made last year?
Yeah, I mean, I know how many sales I made last year.
About how many? 1 million?
Oh,
you distributed like 1 million.
It's okay.
No, you have to tell me.
I mean,
right.
My competitors are watching.
Oh, they are not watching. But the main idea or the main thing would be: are you breaking even? Even though some of the funding is from donors, I'm sure personally. Yeah. You're working somewhere else, you're getting money and you're injecting back into the business. Are you making some profit?
So as a company, we are not yet profitable. And that is to speak to the kind of business we are running. A lot of money goes into research, into development, into production, into operations. And you need to get to a certain minimum order quantity, both in terms of sales of the products and even revenue coming in, before we can even break even. And we haven't gotten there yet, to be frank. We haven't gotten there yet. As we keep pushing the product, as we keep letting people know about it, we believe that is going to lead to more sales, more revenue coming in, and we are hoping that within the next 1 to 2 years we should break even as a company.
What are the disadvantages in the space you find yourself, the challenges because it's been a smooth story, and I'm sure someone is seated behind their screens, being YouTube or TV, and they're like, hey, this thing looks very smooth. What are some of the challenges that at times you're like, oh Jesus, how did I even find myself here?
Yeah, it's been far from smooth. It's been far from smooth. As a company, there have actually been times where we were left with almost like 1 or 2 months worth of salaries, and then if money didn't come in, we would have had to shut down, right? In the space in which we are, technology adoption is very slow.
Right.
You need to put in so much effort, so much money, and then the sales come in and the sales do not match the efforts that you are putting in. And so you realize that, in the Agric space, it takes a lot of effort to get any new technology products to really thrive. And so for me as an entrepreneur, sometimes I'm like, who even sent me to do this thing? Like, I could be somewhere else working and making good money. Who even sent me? And it's just so difficult, right? But that is the beginning. That is the beginning. And I believe that success is sweet. So we'll keep going, and then we know that we are going to be successful soon, and everything will pay off.
Okay. So my last question, and then we call it a day. Recently, I saw you posting some certification on social media, talking about now this has been certified, and but this one will be food. So do I need any certificate to actually trade or produce or manufacture this?
Yes. So devices like what we produce are regulated by the Ghana Standards Authority.
Okay.
And so we call something a pattern approval certification that we need to get from the Ghana Standards Authority to demonstrate that our device works as intended. It is suitable for the measurement of moisture content, temperature, humidity, and without it, we are not even allowed to put it in the market, right? So we recently developed this new model, which is our GM103, and so we took it to the Ghana Standards Authority for them to test and certify that this product is good, it works, it does what it's intended. And so we were recently awarded a pattern approval certificate by the Ghana Standards Authority for both the GrainMate moisture meter and then the GrainMate warehouse monitor, and that demonstrates that our device does what it's supposed to do.
Right.
It works well, it functions well, it is accurate, and it is even validation that we are doing a good job.
Okay, so viewers, I'd like you to see how this moisture meter is packaged. So if you go out there and you're looking to buy the GrainMate moisture meter, this is how it is packaged. Now, what goes into this? Why this packaging in the first place?
Yeah, so actually this packaging is also made in Ghana. The story about this packaging is very interesting. We went to a market in Amakum, and then we found this guy who makes shoes. Okay. And then business was not good, and we told him that we asked him if he could make something like this. Right. And then he made it. And now he works for us. So he provides this for you now? Yeah, he makes it. Or he's now part of Sesi? No, he provides this for us. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So everything is made locally. Right. So we know that people will be carrying their meters when they are going to test for the farm and all of that. So we wanted to make a comfortable, portable case packaging that you can use. You can put your meter in, and so if you purchase it, this is how it looks like. Okay. You have your meter here, you have the probe here, and then when you take out the meter, you have a manual, you have a user manual. Oh, okay, it comes with a manual as well. Yeah, which shows you how to operate it. Yeah, you also have a chart that tells you what the recommended moisture content for your product should be, and then we also provide warranty so that you know that you can always get your... How many years warranty? So we provide 6 months warranty, but no matter how long it is, we'll either repair or replace it for you. Okay. Yeah. All right. And then there are also batteries too. It is battery powered. Okay. So it's very, very simple to use. As you can see, you just insert the probe into the commodity you are testing for. You select the commodity and then you press test, and it gives you the reading. And then you are good to go. And then you are good to go. Okay. Sesi, it's been an insightful interview with you. I am so happy that today we've introduced
these agriculture technological solutions to the world. If you're watching us from around the globe, even if you're not a Ghanaian, but you're a grain farmer, being it millet, sorghum, rice, maize, granules, anything.
And even share nuts.
If we place an order, it can actually be shipped out there.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you have had exposure to even school in the US, travel to the UK and other areas, other countries. Why do you still keep coming back to run your business? Why not close down and go?
Yeah, so I believe that I can make a lot of impact in Ghana. Sesi Technologies was born out of a desire to combine my skills and my skills in technology and engineering, my passion in agriculture, you know, just bring them together to really make a difference in the lives of farmers in a very fundamental way, because everybody eats. So if we are solving problems for farmers, indirectly we are solving problems for all of us. And I don't consider Sesi Technologies just a profit-making enterprise. I consider it we're actually a social enterprise where we are actually doing this because, you know, we want to solve a problem in society. And I feel like this is something that drives me. It keeps me going, knowing that I am living beyond just myself. You know, I could go out there, make good money for myself and family, but I choose to stay in Ghana because I believe that we can really create solutions that benefit us as Ghanaians. And that is my motivation to stay in Ghana and then building Sesi Technologies.
Oh, aren't you a darling? Are you married? Look at his team member there. It's as if he's the one sitting there. He's turned his face to the south. Don't worry, you will come to the north when I call you here. So, Cecil, your final message, Isaac, your final message to a Ghanaian youth who is still in the university or is doing his national service, and the entire aim is, I'm taking my passport, I'm gone. Your message, and also to stakeholders in the agriculture sector, how should they support businesses like yours to make greater impact, to reach out to the larger number of farmers than you are doing now?
So my message to the Ghanaian youth is that there are opportunities in Ghana. Your first option should not be to leave the country. I understand the situation we are in, the current economic downturn, and how things have become difficult. But the truth of the matter is that there are opportunities. There are people who are here and then they are really doing well for themselves. And so your first option should not be, I want to leave the country. No, Ghana and Africa as a whole is a fallow ground for solutions. And so if you feel strongly about being able to solve a problem locally and then create an impact, then Ghana is a good place to be. So please don't be in a hurry to leave, right? The country needs you. If everybody leaves, who is going to fix our country, right? So don't be in a hurry to leave. There are opportunities here, and then there are great ways that you can make impacts locally. Secondly, for stakeholders in the agricultural value chain, just please realize that there are solutions that are being developed locally for the needs of our space, right? These are technologies that are homegrown, and we need you to believe in us. We need you to believe that we can also do something. We can also develop solutions to our problems. It's not always that we have to go and import solutions from out there. And it's your support and your patronage and your business that is going to keep us in business, and that's going to keep us motivated to keep going. So please patronize from us. Buy our moisture meter, buy our warehouse monitor, buy our hermetic bags, and patronize from us, because these are good quality solutions, better than what is out there in the West. And just know that we can also solve our own problems. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much. How do we find you? Any contact number to call? And do you deal with distributors in case after this I'm like, okay, I'm in the Bono East, I want to distribute the hermetic bag and the moisture meter? How do we find you? Yes,
so we are available. Our website is www.sesitechnologies.com. Our phone number is 0555 699 870. If you need to purchase this, once you call our number, we will sort you out. You can call us, you can WhatsApp us. Our team is going to serve you wherever you are. We're going to deliver to you. If we have a distributor near you, we will point you to our nearest distributor and let the distributor bring whatever you're purchasing to you. If you love these products and you think that, oh, I work with farmers and I think that this is going to be a good product for them, I want to distribute, also reach out to us on those same numbers, 0555 699 870, and then our team will engage you and will walk you through the process of becoming a distributor for our Zero Fly Hermetic bag, our Grain Mates moisture meter, and the other products and services that we provide.
Thank you very much, Isaac Sesi. He is the founder, CEO, managing director, executive, all the positions. He is the brain behind this solution and result-oriented products that you're seeing me holding. I have been long looking forward to this, and I'm happy that today we made it here to come and talk about what they are doing. In fact, if you want some of the products, you know how to reach me, the Ghanaian Farmer. I'm everywhere. On Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, just reach out to me. We would be able to help you get some to buy. And so if you're out there, let's support these agri-tech business grow. Let's expand the branches from Ghana to other parts of the world. He is an award-winning CEO. Okay, tried and tested. I'm telling you. Thank you very much, Isaac, for having me.
Thank you so much.
I believe that you've been inspired and motivated. You should be a solution to any problem within our community or even in your country. You'll be celebrated. Maybe not soon, but someday you will be celebrated. Thank you for watching. I'll see you some other time. Bye-bye.